Cave 4 at Qumran sits 15 meters deep into a West Bank cliff face, sealed from the public, accessible only to credentialed scholars operating under the authority of the Israel Antiquities Authority. Fragment 4, Q204, rests inside that controlled archive right now. It contains a word that predates every formal system of astronomy. That word is prison, not temple, not palace, prison, and it describes where the stars are kept. The Council of Laodicea, 363 to 364 CE, removed it, condemned it, buried it. The Gelasian decree of the late 5th century sealed that exclusion permanently, classifying the text as dangerous to the faithful. For over 1,000 years, the Book of Enoch existed only in fragments, in whispers, in the margins of other condemned works. Then, in 1947, a Bedouin shepherd reached into a cave and pulled out jars containing scrolls that predate the ban by 500 years. 500 years. The manuscript was already ancient when the church decided it had to disappear. The Dead Sea fragments cataloged as 4 Q201 through 4 Q204 carry Enoch's words in their oldest surviving form. One church never let go of it. The Ethiopian Orthodox Tewahedo Church held the Book of Enoch as canonical scripture continuously, without interruption, across 15 centuries of suppression. In the next several minutes, you will see what this text literally describes about the nature of stars, how the architecture of the sky is laid out in its pages, and what that means for everything you were taught about the cosmos. If forbidden biblical history is what you are here for, hit subscribe. Every week we surface what was removed. The oldest surviving manuscript of 1st Enoch, held by the Ethiopian Orthodox Church and studied through the Dead Sea fragments at the Israel Antiquities Authority, contains a passage in the 72nd chapter, 1st verse, that has never been adequately explained by mainstream scholarship. R.H. Charles, whose 1912 Oxford translation remains the foundational English language text, renders the passage this way. The luminaries go forth on their appointed courses, each one led by name, each one assigned a guardian. Charles chose the word guardian. The Gay's original uses a term that carries more weight than that translation lets on. The Gay's term is kokab. It means star, but kokab also means shining one, a being, not a burning sphere of gas suspended in gravitational equilibrium, a being with a name, a function, and a superior it answers to. The text does not describe stars as objects that shine. It describes them as entities that obey. That distinction is not a translation preference. It is the entire architecture of Enoch's cosmology. Charles noted in his commentary that the language of the passage implies directed movement. Stars in 1st Enoch do not drift. They go forth. The verb carries intentionality. They are dispatched. They return. They are accounted for at the end of each cycle, and any star that fails to appear on schedule is recorded as having transgressed. Transgression is a legal term. It is the language of courts and judgment, not the language of orbital mechanics. He had no telescope, no spectrograph, no proper motion catalog. Yet what Enoch describes, named luminaries moving on assigned paths, returning on schedule, deviating only under extraordinary circumstances, matches what modern astrometry has since confirmed with instruments he could not have imagined. The Hipparcos satellite mission, completed in 1993 and published by the European Space Agency, produced the most precise stellar proper motion catalog ever assembled at that time. Its data confirmed that stars are not fixed, they move. The average proper motion across cataloged stars runs at approximately 4.1 arc-seconds per year. Individual stars move faster. Barnard's star moves at 10.3 arc-seconds per year, the fastest proper motion of any star visible from Earth. These are not random drifts. They are consistent, measurable, directional trajectories that repeat across observation windows spanning decades. Enoch wrote that the luminaries go forth and return. Modern data confirms that stellar motion follows predictable, repeating paths across timescales we can now measure to the millisecond of arc. The ancients called it obedience to a guardian. We call it proper motion. Same phenomenon, different century. But the movement is only the surface layer of what the text describes. Beneath the motion, Beneath the names and the guardians and the legal accounting of each star's path, Enoch places something else entirely: a structure. A physical architecture built into the sky itself, with gates, with chambers, and with a section that the text describes using a word that translators have struggled with for over a century, because it does not mean what the sky is supposed to contain, and this is where the architecture of the sky gets specific. The manuscript is Codex Panapolitanus, housed in the Chester Beatty Library in Dublin. The relevant passage sits in the Ethiopic transmission as well, preserved across 4 Dead Sea fragments designated 4Q201 through 4Q204, currently held in the Shrine of the Book in Jerusalem. The translator is James Vanderkam, whose 1984 critical edition remains the authoritative English rendering of the astronomical book, and what Vanderkam found in that passage stopped scholars cold. The text describes 6 gates in the east, 6 gates in the west, fixed exits through which the sun passes on its journey across the year. Not metaphor, not poetry. The Ge'ez word used is abwat. It means gates, thresholds with edges, with frames, with defined positions, not windows, not openings, not vague apertures in a mythological sky. Thresholds, measured, fixed. Here is why that matters. The sun does not rise in the same place every morning. Watch the horizon for a full year and you will see it. At the summer solstice, the sun rises at its most northerly point. At the winter solstice, its most southerly. At the spring and autumn equinoxes, it rises due east. Between those 4 anchors, the sun traces a slow arc across the horizon, shifting its position day by day. Track those positions precisely, and you get 6 distinct zones, 6 measurable sectors of the horizon through which the sun rises and sets at specific times of year. Modern solar azimuth measurements place the full range of sunrise positions between 60.3 degrees and 119.7 degrees. That is a span of nearly 60 degrees of horizon, divisible into 6 distinct zones corresponding to the solstices, equinoxes, and the 4 cross-quarter points between them. 6 eastern gates, 6 western gates. Vanderkam confirmed in 1984 that Enoch's gate system maps directly onto these real azimuth shifts. The positions are not approximate. They are not symbolic approximations of something vaguely astronomical. They are accurate. He had no theodolite. He had no degree system. He had no satellite-calibrated solar tracking software. Yet the text written around 200 BCE encodes a solar horizon calendar with 6 measurable eastern positions and 6 measurable western positions that match the observable sky to within the precision of naked-eye astronomy. That is not a lucky guess. That is systematic, repeated, multi-generational observation, recorded with enough precision to survive translation from Aramaic into Ge'ez and still land within the correct azimuth range 2,000 years later. The impossible knowledge beat here is not that someone noticed the solstices. Ancient cultures worldwide noticed the solstices. The beat is the number 6, not 4, not 8. 6 specific thresholds, each with a named position, each corresponding to a real and measurable point on the modern solar azimuth chart. That level of subdivision requires not just observation but a formal system, a framework. An architecture imposed on the sky with enough precision to still be verifiable tonight with a compass and a clear horizon. But the text doesn't stop at the gates. It goes beneath them. The passage is 1 Enoch, verse 6 of the 21st chapter. The manuscript lineage runs through the Ethiopic codices held at the British Library under reference Orient 485, translated by Dr. Michael Knibb in his 1978 Oxford Critical Edition. The words are plain, unambiguous, translated without dispute across every major scholarly rendering of the text. Quote, "This place is the prison of the angels." The Ge'ez term underlying prison here is maudik. It carries juridical weight. It does not mean a cage in a mythological sense. It means a place of lawful detention, a holding location for those awaiting formal judgment. George Nicholsberg, in his landmark 2001 Hermeneia commentary on 1 Enoch, was explicit on this point. The imprisonment language in this section is juridical, not poetic. It describes a legal process. detention before a verdict, confinement pending sentence. What were these imprisoned beings? The text answers that directly. In the 18th chapter, verse 15, the crime is stated, "These are the stars that abandoned their appointed courses. They deviated from their fixed paths, and for that deviation, they were bound and held in a place of darkness, awaiting the judgment of eternity." Stars that deviate from their courses. In 200 BCE, that is the language of rebellion, of cosmic law broken, of beings that were supposed to move in one way and chose another. In the 21st century, astrophysicists call it a glitch. Pulsar timing anomalies are among the most studied and least explained phenomena in modern astrophysics. A pulsar is a rotating neutron star, the collapsed remnant of a massive star after a supernova. Pulsars rotate with extraordinary regularity, so regular that they are used as cosmic clocks. But some pulsars glitch. They suddenly spin faster than their predicted decay rate allows. They deviate from their expected orbital behavior. They abandon their appointed courses. The Vela pulsar, one of the most documented cases, has been observed glitching repeatedly since its discovery in 1968. Each glitch represents a sudden departure from predicted rotational behavior. The star does something it is not supposed to do. It deviates. The mechanism driving these glitches is still not fully understood. Current models involve internal superfluid dynamics within the neutron star's core, but no consensus explanation accounts for all observed cases. The ancients called it rebellion. Astrophysics calls it a glitch. The phenomenon is the same, a star deviating from its appointed path. The Book of Enoch encoded this observation in juridical language around 200 BCE, framing it as a crime requiring imprisonment and judgment. The Vela pulsar has been observed committing that same crime on measurable timescales, with the most recent major glitch recorded in 2019. He had no radio telescope. He had no timing array. He had no way to measure rotational decay in a neutron star remnant 1,000 light-years away. Yet the framework he described, stars that deviate, stars that are held, stars awaiting judgment for abandoning their courses, maps onto a real and currently observable astrophysical phenomenon with a precision that has no comfortable explanation. The mechanism described in 200 BCE is still running tonight. The 4Q201 through 4Q204 fragments sit in the Shrine of the Book in Jerusalem right now. The Ethiopian Orthodox canon publicly lists 1st Enoch as scripture. You can verify that online in under 60 seconds. Every night, without exception, the sun rises through the same 6 azimuth zones that the Abwat passage named 2,000 years ago. The prison passage, the juridical language of stars held for deviation, has never been formally addressed by any church council in recorded history. Not once. The text was removed. The mechanism it described kept running. It is still running. And no one in an official capacity has ever explained why it was taken out. What did they remove and why does it still work? Subscribe every week, another text they buried surfaces here.